Controversial top 10 all-star athletes. If you're unaware, by the way, you can get one free 98 overall BND champion through the field pass and solo challenges to get your first 10 tokens that you see you can exchange right here. You can also get a second one as well as upgrade Pat McAfee, whichever order you want to do that in, by doing the completion sets. Now that's going to be a little bit pricey, but you can still get one for absolutely free just by playing the game. Starting things out with some honorable mentions, and by the way, all the cards in this video, I say this is a controversial top 10 because seriously, you can rate any one of these cards in the top 3. It again is just your preference. Derrick Henry's an honorable mention. He might be your running back 1, and it really just comes down to preference. I'm not the biggest fan of Angry Runs or Freight Train in this version of Madden 25. I think the run game is very pedestrian. Defensive linemen will randomly glitch through the offensive line, tackle the running back in the backfield, and then as well, Angry Runs, and by the way, he has Wrecking Ball, Tank, which is awesome, but Angry Runs and Freight Train in this game, the break tackle animations they often get, they take a while. It's not like Madden 23, even Madden 24 Angry Runs, where a player will break a tackle and keep their momentum, keep their speed, and keep on running. I find a lot of the break tackle animations in this game take a long time to break that tackle, and by the time that happens, another player will come and make the tackle for him. And the other honorable mention is going to be DeForest Buckner. Now, the full stats won't be shown on your screen. He gets 96 speed, great zone coverage, great other stats. And again, a very, very good card. There's just, I prefer another user-esque player with that avalanche ability for 0 AP later on this video. He does kind of have the weight problem where he is 295. You kind of want your user to be a little bit more agile, right? You can boost that speed up to 98, 99 pretty easily. He's 6'7", so you can go all the way up to 6'10 with that strategy item, or not strategy item, the out of position chemistry boost. But DeForest Buckner, honorable mention, still an absolutely amazing card. Starting things off at number 10 with Ed Too Tall Jones, the wide receiver edition. Now, fully upgraded, he's going to get 96 speed. Again, very easy way to boost that, right, with John Ross if you have the token. Even if you have the Emmitt Smith Team Diamond Cowboys boost, very easy to get him up to 98, 99 speed. He is going to be 6'9". If you have the chemistry out of position all the way up to 15 tiers, I think that would be the first player in Madden that's like a non-glitched 7 feet tall. Yeah, he's a behemoth out there. He really is Ed Too Tall Jones. Matchup Nightmare is a decent 0 AP ability, but what I want to talk about is yak him up for 1 AP. I believe he's one of the only players in the game that gets this as a passive ability, right? He's going to break the first tackle, essentially Angry Runs after he catches the ball. Unfortunately, it's not like rack 'em up where it will break press animations like Bottleneck, but still, it's a very, very overpowered ability. It was a fan favorite last year with like Darius Hayward-Bay, and that. So you combine the frame 6'9", 7 foot, however tall you get him up to, yak him up for 1 AP, and then he also does get Tank. I think one of the most important abilities in the game, especially for skill positions on offense, for 0 AP. He's a bona fide, and I think pretty easily top 3 wide receiver in the game. First player on this list that is an LTD, so you cannot technically get this card for free just by grinding, and this one is going to be controversial, man. I almost had Randy Moss off of my top 10 and in the honorable mentions, but I gave him the respect, right? He is 6'4", he's 98 speed, 99s across the board with your man coverage, your zone coverage, your press, and that's really what's going to get him in this top 10. He does get mid zone for 0 AP, and then as well as he gets deep zone for 1 AP. That's what I would run him on, or run him for ability-wise. Play him up top at safety. Play him on the outside at corner. If you really want to get stingy, you could just play him in the slot with mid-zone, flat zone, secure protector. Not secure protector, secure tackler, sorry. And pick artist in the slot, all for 0 AP. But I feel like that'd be spending a little bit too much for a slot corner. I'm not the biggest fan of universal coverage. If you guys seen or heard my take on universal coverage, I think people overpay for universal coverage. You're not going to use, unless you run man coverage. If you run man coverage, Randy Moss can be in your top 5. He's probably the best corner in the game if you run man coverage. If you're a zone coverage-based scheme, universal coverage, you're overpaying for abilities. With a Randy Moss, right, at deep safety and at outside corner, all you need is mid zone, right, when you already have it for 0 AP. And then you just need deep zone, right, which is 1 AP. You don't need to pay for universal coverage, right, to play him at outside corner, to play him at top safety if you're a zone-based scheme. So that's why he kind of falls a little bit down the list, because there's really nothing that's that special about this card other than the fact that he's 6'4 and he's Randy Moss, right? There are going to be better AP stacks if you want certain zone abilities. He doesn't get the likes of Avalanche like some players later on in this video. So that is actually why he's going to come in at number 9. If you want extended coverage of the market and how I make my coins, subscribe to the Coin Bible exclusively on Team Get Lucky, link in the description. Another LTD is up next, and this was the running back that I was talking about that was higher on the list. He's running back 1 for me, 97 speed, easily boostable to 99, Energizer and Tank built on for 0 AP. You can get Bulldozer, Evasive, Spin Cycle, pretty much any ability you want, Human Joystick. He's going to get it for 0 AP. And I prefer the bigger, the bulkier, the fatter running backs in this game as opposed to the Angry Runs and the Freight Train. 6'5", 366, spins like Prime Reggie Bush, will pretty much run over someone or fall forward every single tackle animation there is. And I think the most important and underrated thing about this card, with his build and his weight, the air truck ability to kind of make not only user-controlled defenders, but the CPU is very bad at tackling the air truck. Trevondre Sweat is the go-to. He's the running back 1 by all comp players at this stage in the game, and that's the reason he's coming in at number 8 on this list. Moving on to number 7, I think this one is going to ruffle some feathers in the comments. It's going to be strong safety Calvin Johnson. Now, this card's on my team. I promise you, he's probably in my team for a month, 2. He's Calvin Johnson. I love the out-of-position defensive back Calvin Johnson cards. He's going to have, I believe, 98 or 99 speed, right? He has the man coverage. He has his own coverage. He has every stat you want. I guess his play rec is a tad bit low when he's fully upgraded. This card is very, very similar to Randy Moss, right? With Calvin Johnson, you're paying for the 99 speed, the 6'5 frame. The weight also with Calvin Johnson's is always great. It's under that 245 threshold, so he's going to move silky, silky smooth. And again, very similar to Randy Moss, I would not recommend using universal coverage on this card unless you play man coverage. He's got mid-zone built on for 0 AP, and again, very similar to Randy Moss, and the reason why he's higher than Randy Moss is he's just taller, right? He's just taller, that's the only reason. Deep zone for 1 AP, or again, if you want to play him in the slot, you can play him in the slot, but I would recommend deep zone for 1, mid-zone for 0, and of course, you get pick artist, secure tackler, all the other abilities you want for 0 AP. Play him, oops, sorry, my desk. Play him up top at safety. I would probably recommend just because of his height, or you can play him at outside corner, and he's going to do the job. But again, it's why he comes in a little bit lower than you might have thought. He doesn't get anything special. You're paying or you're using him for his frame, right? The 6'5 frame, plus the out-of-position chemistry height boost if you do want it. And again, I would recommend deep zone for 1 AP, and of course, mid-zone built on for 0, plus all the other fun abilities for 0 AP. But that's why Calvin Johnson is only coming in at number 7 on this ranking. Up next, we got the last LTD in this video, and I think the last Part 1 All-Star Athlete card. It's going to be wide receiver Anthony Munoz, 99 overall. The speed, easily can get it to 99, but it's 97 stock. Route running, it's going to be fine. 98 jumping. He's 6'6", 280 pounds. And the theme of this card and why I have it so high, it's a unique card. There's nothing that describes it, right? He's, I think, one of the only wide receivers in the game. He might be the only wide receiver in the game to get Vanguard as an ability, and it's for 0 AP. He's going to pancake every single defensive back in an RPO situation, in a running situation, and then on top of that, he's also going to get Tank, my favorite other wide receiver ability, for 0 AP. You could also throw on, I believe, a red zone threat, grab and go. There's a few other abilities you could put on for 0 AP, but the main setup that I would recommend, right, is just get Tank on him, right? Tank, Vanguard, he's 6'6", and 99 speed. That's all you need to hear. That's why he's my, I think, wide receiver overall 2 and number 6 in this video. Cracking the top 5 is going to be outside linebacker Ted Hendricks, and like an ability he gets on this card, he's a dual threat, a do-it-all, and that's what makes him, or that's why he cracks my top 5. 97 speed, so that's up to 99 very easily. 6'7", so his height, he doesn't need a height boost. He's already one of the tallest players in the game, and he can rush the passer, can play zone coverage, can play even a little bit of man coverage if you want, right? Do it all. Mid-zone built onto the card for 0 AP. Medium route, right? It's whatever. No one's really going to pay attention to that. But dual threat, if you're unaware about this ability, very, very good and underrated ability. I loved it last year. It's essentially unstoppable force, plus it's reinforcement with the KOs, right? They hit him after the catch, he's going to drop the ball, or the opponents are going to drop the ball, the receivers, that is. The only thing he doesn't get about reinforcement, he doesn't get, like, the out my way, the instant run shedding aspect of it. So, again, unstoppable force. So, if you have him at outside linebacker, he's going to have unstoppable force, rush the passer off the edge, be absolutely great. And then if you throw him in zone coverage, mid-zone KO is going to get that reaction speed on almost every single pass thrown in his area. And then he also has the ability to knock out any pass, right, if he hits the receiver after they catch it, whether he's in zone or man coverage. That's why dual threat, I think, is one of the most underrated X factors in the game. And he gets it for 2 AP, right? You could also throw a slew of abilities on him for 0 AP. Lurk Artist. I think he's also going to get, like, double or nothing for 1 AP, I believe. Yeah, or no, he might not get double or nothing. I don't know if the strength is there, right? But can get Edge Threat for 1. El Toro for 0 AP. Really, you can user him. You could play him at outside linebacker, predominantly rushing the passer. Or you could throw him in zone coverage. He can pretty much do it all. Next up is his counterpart, which I would play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. It's right outside linebacker, Derrick Henry. Very, very similar card to Ted Hendricks. I just think Derrick Henry's a bit of a better user. He's going to have 98 speed stock on the card. 6'3", right, but can boost the height if you have the out-of-position chemistry. A little bit worse rushing the passer statistically, right? His power move and finesse move, I believe, is going to be in the high 80s if you have him fully upgraded. But when we get to the abilities, that's why Derrick Henry slots in at number 4 instead of number 5, and a little bit ahead of Ted Hendricks. So I would actually probably play Derrick Henry at user with Avalanche for 0 AP, and then you could throw on mid-zone, if I could find it in the right bucket. Mid-zone is going to be for 1 AP, so in my opinion, he's the best user in the game with Avalanche. I'm a big fan of Avalanche. I loved using it on Brian Urlacher. Now Derrick Henry is probably going to become my user, but if you don't want to user Derrick Henry, he also gets dual threat, so you can play him at that outside linebacker role opposite of Ted Hendricks and have that unstoppable force, but also be able to, play pass coverage as well. Derrick Henry, this is an amazing card, man. 98 speed, where I can get that height up to 6'5", 6'6" if you want it. Great user. I think the best user in the game with Avalanche, but can also play him off the edge at defensive end, even if you want to. That's why he's number 4 on my list. At number 3, you guys knew this card would eventually be in this video. It's wide receiver Calvin Johnson. They gave him another card after having the top 100 ranked 97 overall. And this 98 overall Calvin Johnson is even better. 98 speed. Just look at the stats, dude. They're going to be almost all 99 with chemistry, with strat items. 6'5" is tall enough for a wide receiver. And the reason he's in the top 3 and the reason why I think he's the best wide receiver in MUT 25 right now, it's the abilities, right? You're going to get red zone threat for 0, which is like cool. It's still a really good ability, but cool. Double me for 0 AP. I believe he's the only player to get double me for 0. There's some players that have it for 1. He gets it for 0. Double me, if you're unaware, it's going to do a great job at beating press man coverage. It will beat bottleneck if you have to worry about that later on in the year. And going to do a really good job at sometimes countering KOs, zone, and man. And yeah, double me, it is. If he's in man coverage, solo, you could throw up to him. Probably a 50-50 chance he comes down with the ball. And then the other aspects of this card, he also gets angry runs for 2 AP. So if you're an RPO kind of guy, now I don't really know. No, this should work run after the catch like it did last year. I'm pretty sure if you throw him an RPO, he's going to break the first tackle every single time with angry runs. I wish, the only problem I have with this card, I wish Tank was 0 AP. But 1 AP is going to have to do. He also has one of the best spin moves in the game. And you can get spin cycle for 0 AP. So, Calvin Johnson, man, he's wide receiver 1. And I don't know too many cards that could really knock this card off this pedestal. He's probably wide receiver 1 until golden tickets. And he's coming in at number 3. At number 2, an underrated card, in my opinion. It's going to be defensive tackle Larry Allen. Honestly, I could put the right guard Larry Allen at number 2. The best offensive lineman in the game. I just didn't want to put an offensive lineman in this video, frankly. But a great B&D option if you want to be a responsible Madden 25 player. But defensive tackle Larry Allen is going to have 91 speed stock on his card. So you can get up to like 93, 94, which I think is fast enough for a D lineman, especially at D tackle. But we all know the reason why he's number 2 on this list. it's not the secure tackler for 0 AP, although I wish it was. He does also get a bunch of other abilities, right, like double or nothing for 1 AP, can get defensive rally for 0. I think in this bucket we'll get El Toro for 0, right, inside stuff for 0, all those fun things. There's one reason why Larry Allen is number 2, and you could argue he was the best card released in this content drop, and it's Colossus. And it's not just Colossus, because there were other cards in this drop that got Colossus for 3 AP, but he gets it for 2 AP. He also is just a defensive tackle, and that's kind of where Colossus is best used, in my opinion. It's the most overpowered, kind of meta, X-Factor, passive, pass rush ability, right? It's preferred over Unstoppable Force. It's preferred over Dual Threat. It's pretty much the best X-Factor in the game defensively. And again, he gets it for 2 AP. There are other cards in the game that get this ability, but it's for 3 and 4 AP. So saving that extra AP might be the difference between you being able to run this card with Colossus. And of course, he gets all the other secure tackler, inside stuff, defensive rally, all those other little nuggets for 0 AP. He's going to be a great defensive tackle, and that's why he's number 2 in this video. But coming in at number 1, and honestly, I don't think a lot of you guys would have this card at number 1. I think he'd be in the top 10 for everybody, would probably be lower on if I were to get a consensus from the MUT community. But for me, it's Ted Hendricks, because again, I go back to he's such a unique card. There are only a few defensive backs in the game that get Avalanche, as well as all the zone KOs in the game. And Malcolm Jenkins really is the other one. Ted Hendricks is going to be the best one, in my opinion. So he gets up to, I believe, 97 speed on this card. Again, very easily can get it to 99. He's going to get all the stats you want. Pick artist is, you know, it's a cool, right? You're going to need it, so it's cool for a 0 AP ability. But again, it's the Avalanche on for the entire game. I rate this ability so highly. It's the only thing that I think makes defensive backs, and really any card, linebacker or defensive back wise, in Madden 25 at this stage in the game, it's the only ability that makes a player stand out to me. It's why I rate Malcolm Jenkins very highly, because he gets Avalanche and he gets all the other zone KOs. Now you're gonna have to pay the AP, but again, it's a unique card. Deep zone's gonna be 1, mid zone's gonna be 1, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But I'm willing to pay 3 AP for Avalanche, mid zone, and deep zone. He is an end game player. You also, if you want to, just like the outside linebacker, you can use him if you want, although you're gonna have to pay, right, 2 AP for mid zone and Avalanche, which is a little bit more than what you normally pay for an Avalanche user. But Ted Hendricks is going to slot right in, I believe, at probably outside corner for me for a very, very long time. I'm wondering, actually, I haven't looked fully at like the lower tier abilities, right? Can he get, damn, secure tackler is 1. That's a little bit unfortunate. But again, it's the unique factor of having Avalanche and be able to have deep zone and mid zone on the card for a reasonable AP amount. Again, it's only him and really Malcolm Jenkins that get this ability stack in the game. So I'm going to take them 10 out of 10 times in my DB room. Again, it's a preferential thing, but I have Ted Hendricks as the best All-Star Athlete card that came out today. And yeah, I think that's my top 10. Overall, this promo, especially part 2, was a 10 out of 10 drop. I love out-of-position cards. I know a lot of people, and some people might like disagree with that and say it's kind of corny, right? It's a little bit played out. They use them too much throughout the year. But, I mean, dude, we're in April. Let's have some fun. And again, this is the only way cards can really stand out in this game, is either their height or they start to get these crazy abilities, right? Like Avalanche, like Dual Threat, like Angle Run. So I was very happy with this promo. And again, the fact you're able to get one of these cards for free, 98 overalls, that is, for just playing the game, absolutely awesome. And yeah, that's my top 10. Make sure, put down in the comments who I missed. Did Anthony Edwards deserve to make it on this video? Charlie Ward, Ed Toothall Jones, left end. Let me know down in the comments. I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.